Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. In this video, I'm going to talk about what are the elevated access logs, right? And how those are helpful, right? So basically, elevated or elevate access events are now in exportable format within the Entra logs, right? Under the monitoring section. And currently it's in public preview. So definitely that's going to be available for the GA going forward, and that can be used and leveraged for the auditing purpose, definitely, right? And it is really going to be helpful for administrators, right? So I'm going to show you how we can go ahead and export those from the admin center, basically from Microsoft Entra ID admin center, right? And then as an administrator or as a be it, or you might be working as an administrator on Microsoft 365 or Entra ID or Azure side, right? So this is going to be really a game changer for you, and you can leverage it for your purpose. So now the question is, what is elevated access, right? So this is something when you as an administrator, majorly the global administrator, right? And when you have an ability to access all the different subscriptions within Azure tenant, right? And then at the same time, management groups, and there you get option to see or use the elevated access, and this is particularly going to be useful for the subscription to become orphaned access levels when that respective user doesn't have or is lacking the owner permissions, right? And by elevating access, global administrator receives the role of user access administrator, which is called as UAA, right? And the root scope at the root scope level. And by enabling them to assign themselves or to the other users as a owner in the organization, and they can recover the orphaned subscriptions, right? And this way definitely is going to be helpful for the organizations to make use of. The next question is going to be, why do I need elevated access audit logs, right? So this is something when elevated access is highly privileged, right? And when we have need or we wanted to audit when the access was elevated and who did what actions, right? And earlier, there was a challenge or there was limitations on it where directory level events could not be processed or exported on the Azure activity logs, right? And this made it challenging for elevated access events and foundation from first and third party SIEM solutions to track who had elevated access and when, right? And to resolve this one, uh, this is the capability that Microsoft has built, and Microsoft has made sure all the integrated these events into the Microsoft Entra audit logs. And this integration allows you to export and stream elevated access events, right? And by providing reliable basis for building alerts and detection solutions with Microsoft Sentinel as well as third-party SIEM solutions, right? And the main important part of this is that what events are logged, right? So this is something we need to make sure and see what events are logged there so that we know those events are logged appropriately, and then those can be used for auditing purpose, for verification purpose and checking purpose, right? And there are two types of logs we can definitely use. The first is when admin elevates their access to user access administrator role on a root scope level to manage the Azure subscription. It keeps a record of all those actions, and then that can be leveraged for further analysis and auditing purpose. The second is when audit or when an admin deletes their roles assignments of user access administrator at root scope level, and it is also assigned if that is also part of assigned to someone else, and then it is also going to help us to show what is going on there, right? So this is very helpful there and can be leveraged onto all those kind of activities, right? And now I'm going to show you the same within the uh, Entra portal from Azure side, right? And then I'm going to show you how we can do that, right? So let's go ahead and do that. Let me share my screen here quickly, and I can show you. All right. So let me share it here. All right. So here I'm on Azure portal, and you can see I'm going to go into the Azure portal or Entra admin portal, and then under the monitoring section here, I need to go to audit logs, right? So under the audit logs, we need to find elevated access. So now you can see that there are many different audit logs or logs have been captured for different actions that happened across the tenant. But now I wanted to see for the elevated access only. So under the services and under the value all, we need to scroll down and there's new capability that is added, which is Azure RBAC elevated access. So we need to select that and hit apply button. And then once we apply that, it is going to showcase all the results. But currently I don't have any such records or results available to show in this tenant at least. And that is why it shows no records found here. And also we can change the time period or data range. Let's say I wanted to select for last 1 month, I can select it. And then I can change the date or duration like local to UTC time period, so that it can also filter it out and then it can show that results in front of us, right? So yeah, this is how we can go ahead and see those elevated, and there's a download button at the top, right? And by hitting download, simply it is easy for us to download and export it, and then we can share those for validation purpose or auditing purpose to the respective teams. Maybe there's a separate team who is looking after all of this auditing and everything together, right? And then we can share it across simply. So yeah, that is what I wanted to show you about this new capability that has come to the Azure RBAC elevated access, right? And yep, hope that will be helpful for you. And yeah, that's all for this video. Hope you will like it. Please do like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to watch other videos around Microsoft 365, Azure, SharePoint, Teams, Microsoft Intune, Defender, and FinOps, right? And definitely, I'm going to make more videos on Microsoft Entra ID as well. So I have talked on different topics across Entra ID as well. So yeah, please do like, share, and subscribe, and definitely share these videos with your friends and colleagues and whoever needs to watch and see. So yeah, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.